Hello, this is the Tradesight U.S. Stocks and Futures Market Preview for Thursday, December 17th, 2015, and Friday, December 18th. Hope you're having a good trading week. We had a fun time after the Fed announcement here on Wednesday, so the week's been going fairly well. Stocks and futures-wise, futures really had a nice run this week. But we've had some good stock trades some of the days, and Wednesday, definitely some Amazon and other stuff after the announcement that worked really well. So let's take a look at where we're at here. Obviously, the Fed announced the market had gapped up. I'll show you the intraday action in a moment. Market had gapped up, filled the gap, then the Fed announced. We spiked both ways, down first, then up, came back to the middle, and then about 45 minutes after the announcement, everything started heading up, and we closed up pretty good for the session, actually. So we'll see if we get another gap in the morning. I would say that if we do get a gap up, it'll probably sell off, so be aware of that. But here's a look at the ES. This is the S&P E-mini front month futures contract. And, we've bounced back. By the way, if I slide you over, you can see here we're closed at 2063.25. And if you go back to the end of December, the closing price was, let me give you the last day of last year, December 31st, the close was 2054. So we are literally up less than 10 points for the year on the S&P at the moment. Remember how flat most of the year was? At least the trading's been good since August, but still flat for the year. Interesting. All right, here's a look at crude oil gained another 27 cents, which only takes it back up to 35.80. Not too interesting in general. Gold up $10.40, still very near the lows. So for the day, the S&P gained 29.66 points. NASDAQ 100 gains 67.23. SOX gains 5.23. Biotechs gains 79.70. It's a pretty good move on the biotechs. Looks like a potential breakout there. We've got a couple of those on the list for tomorrow for trading purposes. VIX dropped a whopping 3.09. Look at how that green static trend line was the wall on the VIX. Pretty amazing. Trend got a 0.95 close, which also puts the 10-day moving average right in there. There is a higher number that drops off tomorrow, so that moving average could move lower, especially if we get another low close on the trend. Be aware of that. 1.8 billion shares on the NASDAQ. That's right on the 10-day moving average. Advanced declines, again, good breadth, up 14.15 on the NASDAQ, up over 2,000 on the New York. Only 2 other days this whole year have topped plus 2,000 on the New York side. So that was good market breadth after the announcement. And, of course, the stocks that are up for the year, the minute the market turned back up, start running. Google up $16.50, almost a new closing high for the year on Google. Amazon also up 17. Just be aware, if I go to what we call projection mode on the Secret tool, look at that. Today was the 13 sell signal on Amazon. Now we're going to get a risk line up near 700 on that. So there's still some room to head higher without actually failing the signal. But just be aware that Amazon does have a secret 13 sell signal on the daily chart. We haven't seen that for a while. Apple, obviously not up for the year, but so it was only up 85 cents. Netflix gained 4.04. And all right, so that's it. Let's look at the intraday action, 5-minute candles. You can see the gap up. We filled the gap, went sideways, and then you can see the announcement. Spiked down to sweep the lows of the day, spiked back up to sweep the highs of the day, settled back into place, basically flat, and then in the last hour and a half or so finally started to make the run. That's what usually happens. You get a 3-wave move, the first move being down in this case, the next one being up, and then we kind of drifted and held, and it's when the big players come back in after they've kind of read through everything that the market starts to move. So that's what we saw today on the ES. Here's the NQs, pretty much the same thing, gap up, fill. Look how flat it was for like 3 hours on the NQs. That's amazing. All right, so this is for tomorrow and the day after because we don't usually do a market preview for Friday. Most of the week is played out at that point. So let's discuss economic data that's due still. So on Thursday, we've got continuing and initial jobless claims, current account balance, and the Philly Fed. 30 minutes into the market, we've got leading indicators. An hour in, we've got natty gas. So that's all coming Thursday morning. Meanwhile, Friday, there's no data due, but it is triple expiration. So what do we expect for the rest of the week? Well, Thursday, if we didn't get, and it's hard to tell when you get these Fed announcements like this, if we did not yet get an options unraveling move, then we would expect to get that here on Thursday at some point in time. And remember, those usually start after the first hour's play. We'll walk you through it in the room if it happens. It helps trading stay focused in one direction for the session. That's Thursday. That still gives us a pretty decent opportunity. That's unless in this volume push late in the day, Wednesday, they kind of unravel the options. We'll see what happens. Friday, on the other hand, should be mostly dead. It's triple expiration. Everything should be pegged very near its closing strike prices by that point in time. It's also Star Wars release day. We know half the planet's going to be in a movie theater. So we will see what happens, but I'm hoping Thursday's a great trading day, and I'm expecting Friday not to be. That's our layout for the rest of the week. We'll have new previews up over the weekend for next week as we head into the week of Christmas and then New Year's. And those are going to be, next week will be a little bit slower, and it's also a short week. The week after, we don't even post calls in the report for the week between Christmas and New Year's. We'll make calls in the room, but nothing goes on. Volume drops off by half almost for that week. Nobody's around. All right. Everybody have a great trading Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Charts as usual brought to you by eSignal. If you've not taken trial of our services, feel free to do so. We can help you out for a couple days. If you do find these videos useful, please like them on YouTube. And it's not too late to invest in your education, market education for 2016. You can still write off the cost of our mentorship programs in 2015. We're running some specials right now. Contact us for details. Thanks.